Alright guys, so I'm going to discuss with you as to which is better, living in Chiang Mai or living in Chiang Rai. So, which is better? Well, that all depends on you really, because different people have different tastes. If you want my personal opinion, the place that I go with is Chiang Mai. And I'm going to get into why I choose Chiang Mai over Chiang Rai, and then I'm going to discuss the pros and cons to both. But the reason I choose Chiang Mai is because Chiang Mai is ultimately a big city. It is not as big as Bangkok, but I like Chiang Mai because it's like a happy medium between a small town and a big city. Chiang Mai is sort of like a cross between Bangkok and Chiang Rai. It has the somewhat relaxed, slower-paced vibe that a small town has, at least if you're in the right area, but it also has areas that have hustle and bustle, traffic jams, bars, nightlife as the big city. So it feels like in Chiang Mai you can get the best of both worlds, but at the same time Chiang Mai is more relaxed than Bangkok. It's cheaper than Bangkok. People are more at ease. It seems that in Chiang Mai people don't try to fleece you out of your money the way they do in Bangkok or Pattaya. I'm gonna now talk a little bit about Chiang Rai. Chiang Rai is somewhat touristy, less touristy than Chiang Mai. It has the White Temple. It's also not very far from the Golden Triangle, so you can ride a motorbike a little north to Chiang San, and you can see the Golden Triangle where you see Laos and Myanmar and Thailand. Like, you can take a boat out into the river between the three countries, which is quite amazing. Chiang Rai, on the other hand, is less touristy. There's a lot less English, but it's a more relaxed, slow-paced lifestyle than Chiang Mai. It's very quiet. You can definitely taste rural Thailand. So I like Chiang Rai a lot because it is absolutely beautiful. People there are very sweet. I had an amazing experience there. They've also got great food in Chiang Rai. So, as of right now, I'm going to discuss the pros of Chiang Mai over Chiang Rai. One pro is that it's easier to get to if you're coming from abroad. Chiang Mai has a big international airport, and I think Chiang Rai has one too, but still, Chiang Mai is easier to get to by train or by plane. Another thing about Chiang Mai is that there's a lot of English here, so the majority of people, they might not speak fluent English, but they speak pretty good English, so you can live in Chiang Mai very easily without knowing a word of Thai. So higher English proficiency is another pro. Another pro of Chiang Mai is that they've got a lot of fun nightlife action. They've got the night bazaar, they've got Neiman area with all sorts of bars and clubs. Another pro is that they've got multiple shopping centers. Like in Chiang Mai, we've got Central Airport Plaza, Maya, Central Festival, and we've got Promenade, and there's other shopping places too. Another pro of Chiang Mai is that you've got easy access to Western necessities. Alright, so what are some cons of Chiang Mai? Cons of Chiang Mai, for one, I would say there's more scams here. There's not a lot of scams, but there's more. Another con may be that you don't get to experience as authentic of taste of Thailand as you would in Chiang Rai. So I would say less authentic. I think another con is that it's more expensive. A little bit, but still cheap. Another con is that there are many traffic jams in Chiang Mai, especially during rush hour. The streets can get very busy, especially in Neiman area. You could find yourself stuck in traffic for quite some time. That's something that can become very frustrating. Alright, so now let's talk about the pros of Chiang Rai. Pros of Chiang Rai. Very, very friendly, warm people. The people in Chiang Mai are friendly too, but I think that when you're in that small town setting, you get people that are just super warm, super friendly. Another pro is that you get easy access to beautiful sceneries. Also, in Chiang Rai, it's a very simple lifestyle, so I like that a lot. Alright, now let's talk about the cons of Chiang Mai. A couple of cons I'll point out. It does not have as many Western comforts as Chiang Mai. The English proficiency is lower. There are fewer signs in English. There are fewer Western necessities. There's fewer things in English altogether. So in Chiang Mai, it might not hurt if you know a little bit of Thai. Another con is that transportation can be difficult to come by. If you're out walking in Chiang Rai and you don't want to have to walk all the way back to your place, sometimes waving down a taxi or red car can be very difficult because there's usually not one readily available for you. In Chiang Mai, they're much easier. Transportation is not as reliant in Chiang Rai. You usually want to have a motorbike. Another con, with it being a more rural area, it could become boring for some people. But it just depends on you, really, and what you like. Another con of Chiang Rai is that it does not have much of a nightlife, so there's not really a night bazaar. It does have a few night markets here and there, but not as much as Chiang Mai. There's not really a red light district in Chiang Rai. So if you're into all the bars and the clubs and all that stuff, then Chiang Rai might not be the best fit for you. It just depends. Alright guys, so I hope I've given you guys a good idea as to what goes on in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai. For me personally, Chiang Mai is where I choose to live, but I could have a great time in Chiang Rai as well, but I think Chiang Rai is the better option for me. Anyhow, I want to say, if you guys found this helpful, please give a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below, check out these links to some of my other videos, feel the burn for Bernhardt's World, and take care everybody. Have a good one.